Well, a month before Starcade, we have the Omni. It's the annual Thanksgiving show, even though it's no longer Starcade. It's a Thanksgiving wrestling extravaganza.
Yeah.
And listen, a lot of fans these days may not even remember this was a thing, but it certainly was a thing, especially in the South. Thanksgiving night and Christmas night were big business in the
Big.
territory days, right?
Automatic big grosses, automatic good paydays. Everybody wanted to be, ironically, uh, I don't think you could say that today, but ironically, then everybody wanted to be booked on Christmas and Thanksgiving. That means they're leaving their family to venture off into the world of work. But they did it because they were getting paid primarily just on the house, on how many tickets are sold, and those are great ticket selling nights, just tremendous.
Well, 7,500 fans are going to show up here. It's going to
So
be
that was
Flair
good
and
for us,
Muta.
Connie. 7,500.
Yeah.
That's good. That was good for that era. Quite honestly.
Yes. The main event attraction is Ric Flair as a babyface against the Great Muta. They go 30 minutes before Muta gets disqualified because Lex Luger interfered. But I wanted to ask you about Flair as a babyface. Obviously, he's the biggest star in the company,
Yeah.
but did he enjoy being a babyface? It feels like he had so much fun as a heel. Or was that just what was best for business at the time?
I think it was what was best for business. But Rick is so skilled; he could be a babyface or a heel with equal success.
Right.
He knew how to work. Again, I'm going to wear this goddamn term out. Rick had product knowledge that far exceeded his peers by and large. So I thought he was. Fans look. It's like this is. Don't take this wrong, but I'm a little weird on my analogies. He's like a pair of house shoes. They're broke in. They're comfortable. I'm
Yep.
familiar with them. I know how to put them on. I know how to take them off. Blah blah blah. And he could do any of that and do it really really well. And again, the fans loved him. Tenure. He was in front of them a lot. They knew him. They respected him as they should. So consequently, I thought he would do fine. I think the finish sucked, uh, but I understood. You got to get trying to marry Luger to Flair. Uh, I get that, but I think Nate could have done something to win the match other than a DQ. I don't know that getting DQ'd, disqualified, helped Muta. So if we didn't help Muta, we got to help everybody. Everybody's got to get their hand up, so to speak. And I don't know how many favors we did Muta on that finish, but they had a hell of a good match. I thought really good match. I
Flair
enjoyed
and
calling
Muta
it.
Flair and Moon are going to wrestle on TV, and it's the highest rating WCW had in a year. Not only that, it went heads up with Miami and Notre Dame in a college football game. And in 1989, that was big business.
Yeah.
It's the highest rated college football game in like 2 seasons.
Wow.
This this run that Flair had in '89, he doesn't even consider this one of his great years because as far as in ring stuff, he thinks that and he probably had more fun in 85, 86, and he probably had better matches that weren't televised in the 70s. But fans really romanticized 1989 because you got that Steamboat trilogy, then that fabulous feud with Terry Funk. And now we're finishing with really great ratings with the Great Muta. I think 89's got to be one of the most important years of Flair's whole career.
I can't argue that point. I look back at '89 as a kind of a glory year for us. We started getting some guys over. That card at Starcade, that round robin, illustrated that point that we were building some depth, and guys are getting themselves over. And that crew worked hard. They did work. They worked very hard, but you still had issues, because expectations were high, and you know the monies were seemingly in line. I didn't hear too many guys complain about what they were making more than normal. It's going to happen every company I've ever worked for. You got guys complaining about what they're earning, without exception. So yeah, I just thought we started doing some good things, and I look back at the '89 year as I was very honored. I worked all three Flair Steamboat matches with three different partners,
Wow.
and, and they just uh, the performance by Ricky and Nate were, if a young talent wants to learn in any era, any body type, they will watch those matches. If not all of them, because you'll see them change the match as they go through. They change their procedures, their strategies, uh, which is trying something different, which a lot of guys don't have the balls to do. Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat did, and they succeeded. But if you're a young wrestler or a wrestler that you don't have to be young, you want to learn, you want to get better, you want to be the best you that you can be, as Nick Saban would say. So I'm a I'm just that was one of my favorite years in all the years I've been in wrestling business, '89, because of the quality of the matches. And then you come after you got Terry Funk, who's having a glory year. He had missed a beat, and we forget just how talented a worker Terry Funk was. I miss him, but boy, this is art. This is again, you can everybody in wrestling today can learn from watching Flair and Steamboat and Flair and Funk. Everybody, no matter where you are on the card, you can always get better, and you can get better if you understand the concept of these matches of these guys. It's just they'll go down in history as, at least to me, as the best wrestling year. I didn't have a better wrestling year. Maybe there was a year or so in the Attitude Era when Austin got really hot, but other than that, '89 was it.
Was there ever any talk of Terry Funk on a booking committee? Do you
Yeah,
think he would have been helpful for WCW?
absolutely. But I don't know how helpful he would have been in the system.
Right.
The system, Conrad, was broken, and so that too many people on the committee, and we met at odd times, and the meeting started, and everybody was looking at their watches, their Rolexes, to see when they're how much time they had before their plane left. So they worked maybe half a day. Then they'd leave me with the here's what we want to do. So then it was my responsibility to pitch it and pitch it admirably. And then if it didn't go through, then somebody's going to get blamed. I don't think JR liked that idea, like I said earlier. So, yeah, Terry would have been great. Terry, see, the committee needed to be got three people. And you can't convince me that Terry Funk would not have contributed amazingly in a three-man committee. You got three guys, you should be able to, you can communicate better. You're not trying to satisfy everybody's agendas to that extreme. There's only three of you. So, I could see a booking committee of Cornette, Terry Funk, uh, even Sully. But there's a lot of combinations that would have worked. But when you got two guys that are booking geniuses, like I perceive them to be, and Jim Cornette and uh, and Terry, that excites me. There's going to be some exciting television, and if we do enough of them consistently, create continuity, we might fight back in this thing.